Hi there, everybody. This is Carrie Hamblen, the CEO and president of the Cruces Green Chamber of Commerce, coming to you again with another one of our Zoom chats that are offered free to our members of the Cruces Green Chamber of Commerce. And we have back again Esther Devall, who is the president of the board of directors for Soroptimist International of Las Cruces. And Esther, it is so fabulous seeing you, and especially talking about LUNAfest. Oh man, it's going to be so good this year.
Yes.
So for folks who don't know, Soroptimist is an interesting word, often misspelled, yours truly included. So tell us about like the background of Soroptimist.
Okay. Soroptimist is an international women's organization that started in 1921. So we're over 100 years old. And it's, again, in countries all over the world. And the whole goal is to empower women and girls through education. We know that education has the power to transform people's lives. I certainly know in my own case, I was a first generation college student. You know, my grandparents had less than an elementary school education. My parents had a high school education. And yet I was able to get great scholarships and, you know, end up going and getting my PhD and becoming a professor. So certainly education made a big difference in my life. And we want to help women and girls all over the globe be empowered through having education and having a better life. Our club in Las Cruces has been in existence for over 50 years. And I've been a member for 30 years. So I'm one of the longtime members here. And
all right. We call that one of the OGs.
Seasoned.
Yes, yes. And so, you know, you've got some incredible programs that you do, especially, you know, in empowering women and young girls to really have access to that, you know, because that's always the big challenge. I'm kind of curious, and this is not something we prepped, but you know, with the opportunity scholarship that allows everybody to have access to college, I mean, you all can like really ramp that up and help support women and young girls when they're going back to school.
Yes, because you know, it's not just tuition that people need. You know, if you've got children, you need childcare. You need a vehicle that'll get you back and forth. One of our winners this past year was a woman up in the northern part of the state who lived on a reservation, and it was a 2-hour commute to her to go to college. And she also had no Wi-Fi on the reservation. So she would, you know, she would leave her house at 4 in the morning and drive to campus, catch a quick nap in her car, log on to Wi-Fi and do some work before she started her classes. And she had, of course, an old clunker of a car because that's all she could afford. So if you need, you know, we give you a cash award that you can use for anything you need to remove barriers.
Yeah, that's fantastic because, you know, we often don't think about this, and we certainly, as a result of the pandemic, recognized how there's so much inequity when it comes down to access to broadband. And so my other hat, you know, we are certainly still working on that, especially in tribal communities, because those are tribal communities and rural communities are the ones that are really impacted the most by the poor infrastructure for internet. And so with this, tell us a little bit about some of the programs that you do, because, you know, this woman in the Four Corners area up north, you know, being able to help service her car, you know, tell us about this, because you do great programs and you're kind of this hidden gem, except amongst the group of people that are impacted.
So one of Soroptimist's signature programs all over the world is called Live Your Dream. And that's helping a woman who has some other family members that she's helping to support besides herself. So it could be children, it could be a disabled spouse, it could be her parents, it could be her grandparents, it could be her siblings, but she has somebody else that she's helping to support. And she's the primary wage earner, and she's getting something post-secondary. So community college, or, you know, it could be a beauty school, or it could be university. So we help them by giving them a cash award to help them live their dream and be able to successfully, you know, complete that degree and be able to have a better standard of living for their family. So we used to only give one award. Then we went up a few years ago to giving 2. The last couple of years, we've really ramped it up. The year before we gave 5, and this year we gave 8.
Wow.
So yeah. And this year, we're going to stay at 8 this year, but we're going to try to lift the amount so that we're giving them a little bit more.
There you go.
But we know, you know, and you know, they really appreciate the money because many of these women are facing all kinds of incredible challenges. One of our winners was from Afghanistan. Her and her family had come from Afghanistan. Both her parents were disabled. She had siblings, but she's going to college to become a nurse, right? She has a big goal, but, you know, she needs money. And so, you know, trying to help these women, it's just very inspiring. So that program, is a big one that we all feel so good about helping these women. So that's the Live Your Dream Award. Our second program that all Soroptimists do is called Dream It, Be It. And this is helping high school girls to think about their future and plan and support them into, again, seeking out some kind of education after high school. So we have a one-day conference where we teach them things like financial literacy and money management, setting goals, dealing with stress, overcoming obstacles. And then once they attend our program, which is free, our conference, then they're eligible once they graduate high school and enroll in something post-secondary for a scholarship. And so we're trying to help them get something to make a better standard of living for themselves.
Yeah.
So those are two programs that all Soroptimists do. We also do some other things. We've started a GED program because even though the community college offers GEDs for free, you still have to take the test. And that costs $80. And for some women, that's a barrier. So if we can help them get that GED, that can remove one obstacle. And some of them then go on to get an associate's degree after that.
And for so many, it just takes just kind of like that one thing that may to some of us seem like a really minute barrier and something that's easily overcome. But for other folks, it's not. It's a huge, huge obstacle to continuing to move forward. And so
besides the money too, it's also like somebody believes in me. Somebody
right.
sees how hard I'm working and wants to help me. So I think that's as powerful sometimes as the money.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. You're like your own support system.
Mm-hmm.
You've got your own personal support system in the women in Soroptimist. And so you've got, LUNAfest, which I think this is the third year of LUNAfest, right?
Yes.
And so you really kind of launched it during a pandemic when, so many folks were like, I don't understand why I'm doing this, but I'm going to do this because we have to do this. And so you all did too. And the movie lineup, just looking at the different movies, I've got the website up here right now. Some have to do with, dealing with isolation during the pandemic, a mobile app to help kids stay connected to their incarcerated parents. I mean, that, in all honesty, that was the one that hooked me, that I was like, okay, I'm going to dedicate my time because I really want to watch this. So tell us about LUNAfest, like kind of the origins of it, and then we'll talk a little bit about the movies.
Okay, so LUNAfest is a series of short films made by women about women's issues. This year there are 8 films, and it's a total of 80 minutes. So it's like an hour and a half of your time. And for only $15, which is a real bargain. And we're also giving it free to high school and college students. The films are appropriate for anybody 13 and older, male and female. And they're really interesting. I think this year actually is the best lineup that we've ever had.
Yeah.
They're sponsored by the ones who make Luna bars. And so, we did start this in a pandemic, so we had to do it virtually. We decided this year to continue virtually, again, because we still weren't sure if we might have, an uptick in cases in the fall. But also because there are some benefits to offering it virtually.
Right.
It gives people sort of a window. You have a 48-hour window. So it starts on September 17th, which is a Saturday at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. But then you have 48 hours, so until Monday at 7 p.m. to start it. And then once you start it, you have 48 hours to finish it. So you could start it on Saturday and finish it on Monday, or you could start it on Monday and finish it on Wednesday. So it gives you a lot of flexibility. And you don't have to be in Las Cruces, right? You don't have to, we'd wanted to have it like maybe at the Fountain Theater or the Rio Grande Theater, but you can watch it at home in your pajamas with your friends in the middle of the night if you can't sleep. So
that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm going to do exactly that. And, and the thing is, I mean, so many of us are kind of like, we're torn about the whole virtual thing and in-person thing. And I think there are benefits and drawbacks to each, but I think there are some that really work as a virtual event. And I think this is one of those, and we're finding what's going to probably stick around and what's going to be in person.
Right. I think in the future, what we want to be able to do is offer both options. So maybe next year we'll have it live, but also still have the ability for people to watch it virtually. Again, especially if they're not in Las Cruces, if they're one of our friends back in Florida, they can watch it and participate and help support our fundraising efforts. But the people here can come and have the fun of watching it together. So that's our goal, is to offer it, sort of in a hybrid way in the future, so people can choose what's best for them.
Yeah, and that convenience is really really important. And so I'm going to just kind of list off. I'm going through the website right now, and there's, an immigrant dog walker finds connection in the hearts of the wealthy pets she cares for. 13-year-old girl designs and builds a mobile app to help kids stay connected to their incarcerated parents. And let's see, a first-generation high school student describes what she and her mom learned about when people are cleaning homes. That's some cheese.
I think that's going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, yeah. Um, and I mean, these films are amazing. I can't wait to watch them. And in all honesty, I have to be really, I want to commend you all to, there's an animated self-portrait of a non-binary trans teen caught between the expectations of his Guatemalan immigrant family and the dreams of living his truth. And, as somebody who's been an advocate in the LGBTQ community, thank you for doing that, and especially for our kids. So does the Luna Bars, are they the ones who pick the films, or do you all pick the films?
Yes, no, they pick the films. So we don't have any choice over that. But again, they've done a really great job. And when you go on our website and you click to learn about the films, it also tells you about the filmmakers. And these are top-notch, award-winning, up-and-coming filmmakers. So it's, awesome to be able to support their career. And again, each of these films are, like maybe 5 minutes, 7 minutes. They're short. When it's over with, you wish it wasn't over. You could still keep watching, right? It leaves you wanting for more. And they're again, just such a nice variety.
Yeah.
I think it'll be really touching and maybe create some good conversations at home with people watching.
I think this is brilliant, and hats off to the folks at Luna Bar for doing that.
Yes.
For having that social awareness. Because I think one of the things that struck me about these is that there are several elements that are relatable to Southern New Mexico. It's not just, because we always have a tendency of knowing that, New Mexico is a different creature than most parts of the state. But I think these film topics really, when we talk about immigrant communities and we talk about the lack of representation for Black folks, and we talk about Guatemalan immigrant families and Latinos and Mexican American homes. I mean, they're all there.
Yeah.
They did a good job, and I'm so glad that this is something that helps Soroptimists.
Yes, so the money will help us support our Live Your Dream cash awards for women going to college, and our Dream It Be It conference to help high school girls think about the future and focus on their education. So all the money will stay here in the state. We serve, basically, we're the only Soroptimist club left in Las Cruces and in New Mexico. So we take our applicants and for the girls conference from West Texas, because there's not a club in El Paso anymore, and from the whole state of New Mexico. So your money is going to stay here locally and support women and girls in your local community, as well as supporting these awesome up and coming filmmakers.
Yeah, that's amazing. Well, Esther, I'm very excited. I'm glad we were able to talk about this, because this is something that's super important, and really would love to create more awareness about what you all do, because it really has this incredible trickle down, effect in all the right ways, trickle down effect. And I'm so grateful for it. So if you would like to learn more about LUNAfest and about Soroptimist, you'll see the contact information either above or below. And you can reach out to Esther and her whole crew who putting this on and organizing this in partnership with Luna Bars for LUNAfest, which starts at 7 o'clock on Mountain Time on September 17th, and goes, you have a 48-hour window to go ahead and start that process. We'll have all those details either above or below. And if you'd like to, as a member of the Green Chambers, schedule a Zoom chat with me, please contact me here on our Facebook page, and I'll be more than happy to get that in the queue for you. Esther, it's so pleasant to talk to you again, and continue on with such great work. I just love what you're doing. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Carrie. I appreciate the work that you do for the Green Chamber and for our state.
Oh, thank you. All right, we'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.